over 2 million students go on to do an undergraduate degree, yet only 800,000 go on to do a postgraduate degree. I chose to do 2 postgraduate degrees, and here's why. I still had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do after graduation. So for a bit of context, I went to the University of Exeter from 2019 to 2023, and those 4 years I completed a BA in history and an MSc in Business Management, and I came out of both of those degrees thinking, what am I actually going to do? Because I had absolutely no idea from what aspect of any of my degrees that I had that actually really appealed to me and I could really see growing into a career. And I went into the Masters in Management thinking I was going to go down one route into marketing, but in the end, when I was trying to apply for those jobs, that didn't really aspire to anything, and I just felt completely lost throughout the Masters. However, when I was studying history, I did actually start powerlifting with the university, and from that I sort of gained a really strong interest in the sport and the whole society that the university had for powerlifting. And from then onwards I kind of realised I wanted to do something sport related, but I just didn't know what exactly to do with it. And a couple of years later, after graduating from my Masters in Management in 2023, I then went on to do a second Masters at the University of Bath in Sports Management, purely because I felt like that was really what I was wanting to do in the first place. I did actually start off applying to both Exeter and Bath back in 2022 for my first Masters, and I did get into both sports management at Bath and management at Exeter that year, but I was so completely scared of going and moving to a new city where I knew no one that I just thought, I'm just going to stick to what I know, stay at Exeter and do my Masters. In hindsight, I think I would have probably gone back and just decided to go with Bath instead. However, I did not do that. So I did stick out my whole year with management at Exeter, and I came out and graduated early because I did 2 modules instead of doing the 12-month programme that would have meant for me to do a dissertation or a business project. But instead I chose the 9-month Masters that allowed me to do 2 extra modules in the second term and graduate early, and that really appealed to me because I thought, well, I want to finish early, so why not? In doing that programme, that 9-month programme, was more geared up for people who wanted to go into graduate schemes, but I knew for certain at the very start of the year that I didn't want to go down that route. I feel like going into something like a graduate scheme, even though it would give me so much knowledge of the business, I just thought that just not appealed to me at all. It just doesn't seem to fit my personality for what I want to really achieve in life, and I felt like I had different goals. I've always had different goals, and just going on to graduate scheme just to make the money. I've always wanted to do something more with my career and my job, no matter what I did. I always loved the idea of doing something sport related, but I just didn't know quite exactly what I wanted to do with it. I felt that going back to university to do sports management, even though it's maybe not as practical on paper as business management is, I felt like that might actually sort of spur me on to sort of realise what exactly I wanted to do, and that is exactly what happened for me, which I'm so grateful for. I'm so appreciative Copenhagen. However, life then got in the way and I really held myself back in terms of what exactly I wanted to do, because I've always known exactly what I have wanted to do. I've always known that I wanted to do something in sports, but I never let myself actually go ahead with what I was wanting to do. I've always been more thoughtful of what I should be doing instead of what I want to be doing, and those two thoughts often clashed, and they still do clash to this day. But I felt like pursuing sports management really allowed me to pivot to something more meaningful, align with my passion to contribute to the sport of powerlifting and gym-related sports. And finally, I stopped holding myself back. For the longest time, I held myself back from doing exactly what I have wanted to do in life, and because I was afraid of other people's opinions, their thoughts, and I thought they would judge me for not sticking to more traditional career pathways like a lot of my family did, because a lot of them are teachers, dentists, lawyers, doctors, and I just kind of felt like the odd shoe height. And I just thought, should I not really be doing something like dentistry or doing something like law? Because I feel like the way which sports and powerlifting does. And even though it's a little bit more niche and some people might struggle to see what I could actually do with this, I had my own voice, I had my own life and career goals, and I thought I would love to be able to make a difference within sport and within powerlifting by sort of taking charge of my career and sort of constantly propose research ideas to supervisors and tutors to then sort of realise, actually, hold on a minute, I've got a really good research proposal here. And I went on to my dissertation. I did amazing. I got to interview some amazing coaches and athletes in British powerlifting to sort of inform my ideas around British powerlifting, coaching conduct and education, and how that really impacts athlete well-being on and offline, because powerlifting is such an online sport. Actually find that actually being able to contribute to an academic end really grew my interest and passion for sort of powerlifting and sort of contributing more to the theoretical world. However, I'm not going to sit back and say that there were no hard parts across this whole process. Going back to university was quite scary because I had finished in 2023 and I went abroad. Quickly realised that wasn't really for me, and I knew my passion was elsewhere. I spent a lot of time questioning what I really wanted to do, and I started working in a gym in February of the next year.